Namaste everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hrishikesh. I'm a Vedic astrologer. I've made a video previously related to Saturn and transits, but when I thought of it, I felt I haven't done proper justice to it. And come to think of it, when you're talking about Saturn, it's about karma, and your karma should always be, it should be to the best of your ability. And so I thought, why not do it again? So here I am, and hopefully I bring to the table much more information than I could than the previous time. Saturn transits making kings bow down. When I use the word kings over here, it does not mean literal kings, okay? It means ego, ahankara. All right. And Saturn, when it goes through the gochara of certain houses, when it is transiting through certain houses, and that transit is dreaded by most people. And commonly, that transit is known as Sade Sati. Because during that transit, a person really goes through a time of testing in his life or in her life, related to career, related to personal life, related to finances, related to health, related to relationships. Okay. And, I see a lot of people, I hear a lot of people blaming Saturn at that time. Saturn has got nothing to do with the tough times that you are going through. Saturn basically is bringing forth all your past life karma. Okay? It has come to cleanse you of it. Saturn works like a cleansing agent. So with all the burning and the suffering that is caused by the transit of Saturn in your life through certain houses of importance, you're able to cleanse a lot of your past life karmas, and it gives you an opportunity to do better, to create new, better karmas. So on a materialistic point of view, from a materialistic point of view, the transit is not good. But from a spiritual point of view, it is very uplifting. Now, how bad it would be, or how would Saturn transit affect would differ from chart to chart. How is the Saturn doing in your chart? Is it a yoga karaka for you? Is it a beneficial planet for you? Then the transit will have, probably it would cause you less suffering than most people. So that is a different matter altogether. Here, what I'm trying to tell you is that take Saturn as blessing, because it is going to teach you a lot about life, a lot about people around you. Okay, the transit is going to make you tougher, make you more smarter, and make you more responsible in life, make you more spiritual in life, make you understand that this world is Maya. This is not the reality. Whatever you do here, whatever you achieve here, is at one point going to end, get destroyed. So you should seek the real goal of life. Okay, you should try to understand your soul. You should go more deeper into spirituality and create better karmas at a spiritual level to get out of the cycle of, birth and death. So Saturn works like a cleansing agent. The transit happens to cleanse your past life karmas. So according to them, according to the karmic baggage you brought forth in this life, you have to deal with it. And Saturn is doing that delivery for you, the delivery of your karma phala. So do not blame Shani Dev. Do not blame Saturn. Whatever is happening to you is because of you. The problem with us is that we see our life from our birth, like this birth, till the point that we are living. And, when we go to astrologers, this common statement you hear all the time, but I've done nothing wrong in my life. I've done no bad thing to anybody. Why is it happening to me? We are souls, from eternity. This is the body that we have. This is the identity that we have in this life. But our souls are much older than we are. And we have accumulated a baggage of karmas, and those have to be dealt with. So let's begin this. First, we have to understand, to understand Sade Sati, we have to understand Saturn is Karaka. The houses where Shani, Saturn is a significator. Now, Saturn is a significator of the 6th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. Okay, these houses are known as Dusthana houses. 6th house is the house of Shatru and Shadrupus. When I say Shadrupus and Shatrus, I mean inner enemies as well and external enemies as well. Okay, Mo, Matsar, Lo. So all these, you can read about it more in depth. The 6 Shadaripus. So inner enemies and external enemies. Saturn is the Karaka of the 6th house. Okay, of sudden accidents, diseases. 6th house is also the house of your daily routine. Okay, Saturn is the Karaka of the 6th house. 6th house is also the house of Brahmacharya. And why have I mentioned Brahmacharya in Saturn transit? I'll come to it when I talk about remedies at the end of the presentation. Saturn is the Karaka, the significator of the 8th house. The 8th house is a house of debts. When I say debts, which debts do I mean? The debts of your past life, your karmic debt. Okay, it's coming from the 8th house. It is also the house of your Nija doshas. The wrong karmic actions or the wrong actions that you do on your own and the repercussions that you do face. That is connected to the 8th house. 8th house is your past life karma. Also, 8th house is related to your ayu, your life, longevity of your life. Saturn is also Ayush Karaka. So if you maintain your 8th house in a positive manner, Saturn can grant you a longer ayu. Or if Saturn is in the 8th house, it can give you a long ayu. But before you get happy about it, the reason behind the long ayu could be that you have to see more brunt of your karmas, you have to see more sufferings in your life. And you have to stay alive for long to see those sufferings. So everything has to be judged very carefully. Saturn is the Karaka of the 12th house. The 12th house is a house of loss, of going away. A lot of you read about 12th house as house of moksha, and you get happy if there's a planet like Ketu in the 12th house. You feel you'll get moksha in this life. When I, talking about 12th house and moksha is a big topic, probably which I'll, make a video on it for sure, because there is a lot of misconception that from the Rashi, from the Lagna chart, you see moksha. You cannot see moksha from the Lagna chart. 12th house in the Rashi is all about going away, losses, jail, hospitalization. Your bed pleasures is related to the 12th house. Okay? House of loss, Tavaya Bhava. So Saturn is the Karaka of the Dusthanas. So now you understand when Saturn is transiting through certain houses or over certain important planets, how it can affect you. Because Saturn is the significator of all these things, of the things of the 6th house, of the 8th house, of the 12th house. And also here a very important thing that I want to, see. Wherever your 6th lord is, wherever your 8th lord is, wherever your 12th lord is, they will also work like Shani. They will also work like Saturn. So if Saturn is transiting over your 6th lord, over your 8th lord, or over your 12th lord, you will see trouble in life. You will see suffering in life. Now, how much? Again, it depends on how the planet is. Weak, strong, in a friendly sign, or in the sign of a enemy planet. So all those variables will come into play again. So do not jump to assumptions. Okay, so but be careful. Not many people know this. Wherever your sixth lord is, wherever your eighth lord is, wherever your 12th lord is, they will work like Saturn. And whenever Saturn transits over them, those karmas will manifest. Those issues will manifest in your life. Okay. Drishti of Saturn. Where does Saturn see? Where does Saturn aspect? So here the three major aspects are the 10th house, the third house. Oh, I'm so sorry. The 10th aspect, the third aspect, and the seventh aspect from Saturn. Saturn is over here. It has an aspect on the third house from itself, the 10th house from itself, and the seventh house from itself. Okay, this aspects are pretty important to understand because wherever Saturn is transiting, it will have influence on the significations of these houses. For example, let's say you're not going through a Sade Sati, but Saturn is transiting in your ninth house. So it will have an aspect on the 11th house. The third aspect will be on the 11th house of gains, and the 10th aspect will be on the 6th house of your daily routine, of your work, of enemies, Shadripus. So it can activate certain Shadripus, and it can also cause a negative impact to your gains, to your income. So suddenly, if you open your chart, you're wondering, I'm not going through any, bad Saturn transits. Why am I still suffering? So wherever Saturn is, wherever Saturn is placed, it will throw, in a way, dirt on that house, the house before, and the house after. So wherever Saturn is transiting, the house before, the house after, and the house where Saturn is will be in trouble. So try to think beyond Sade Sati as well. There is much more to a Saturn transit than a Sade Sati. We'll talk about Sade Sati as well, different Sade Satis. A lot of people only know the standard Sade Sati. There are different Sade Satis as well, which you'll come to know further ahead. So first, we'll talk about the standard Sade Sati, the terrifying Sade Sati from Chandra, from the Chandra Lagna, from the Moon Lagna, from where Moon is placed in your chart, in a very simple term. So Moon is over here. So when Saturn will begin its transit in the 12th house from Moon, it will kickstart your Sade Sati, the 7.5 years of cleansing. Materially, it will cause suffering. Spiritually, it will uplift you. If you're ready to bow down, if you're not ready to bow down, then it can break your back. So 12th house from Chandrama, from Moon, I know it's going to affect 12th house's house of bed pleasures, your relationships, your domestic life. Okay? So it can cause trouble in your relationships, in your domestic affairs. It can break your relationship. If you're married, it can break your marriage. It can cause upheaval in relationships with your children, with your family. All right? When Saturn transits in the same sign as your Moon is placed in, transiting over your Chandrama, over your Moon, okay, this is a time to be really careful about your health. It can cause trouble to health, accidents. Okay, it can affect your longevity. Your ayu can be affected. It can also cause emotional suffering. Chandrama is mana. Chandrama is emotions. Moon also is related to the water element, the Jala Tattva, so it can cause further damage to your relationships. And also can cause physical suffering as it is related to your health. Because now it will be also transiting over your Janma Nakshatra. And I'll talk about nakshatras in detail in this video as well. When Saturn moves on to the second house from Moon, it can cause trouble to your finances. Okay, to your income, to your financial stability. So this is the standard Sade Sati. that generally uh, people only know about. Now we'll go further into the Sade Sati effect. From the ascendant and from the Arudha Lagna. Now, for those of you who do not know what Arudha Lagna is, I would advise you to go and read about it because it's a big topic. But in simple terms, it's how the world perceives you. It's the manifested reality of yourself in this world. Okay. Now, whenever Saturn is transiting the 12th house from your Lagna, from your ascendant, okay, it's very important. Ascendant is you, it's your body, it's your name, fame, intelligence. And when Saturn is in the 12th house from your ascendant, it's going to affect, first of all, your health. It can increase your expenses. It can cause losses, financial losses, also damage to your relationships. And I've seen whenever Saturn comes to the 12th of ascendant, it can definitely cause a break to your relationship. Either if you're married, your spouse can go abroad, cause temporary separation, or can cause permanent separation as well. This is the house of bed pleasures. Bed pleasure can go away from life. Okay. 12th house is also the house of hospitals, jails. You can probably have a visit to them as well. Also, health can be impacted because it's 12th from the Lagna, from the ascendant. It's also the house of giving away. So you'll be forced to give away things in your life, depending on the planets here, depending on the sign here. Okay. Saturn, when it will transit on your ascendant side, on your Lagna, on your ascendant. In the Lagna, in the ascendant, Saturn is in Marana Karaka Sthana, MK's position. It is dying over there. So first of all, your intelligence will be completely gone. You will take wrong decisions, which will harm you for a long time to come. Your viveka, the viveka buddhi, will be destroyed. Okay? And because Saturn is MK's in Marana Karaka position, the houses that Saturn governs in your chart, the significations of those houses will also die. Can be finished, can become zero, can be affected terribly. Also, you could feel lack of resources in your life at this period because the Karaka of the Lagna is Surya, Sun, who's the provider of all resources. So when Saturn is in the house where Sun is Karaka, it's not good. It will cause destruction of your resources. Saturn in the second from your Lagna, the second from the Lagna, ascendant, is a house of sustenance, of your kula, of your family, of finance, of wealth, of stored wealth, of assets. And Saturn will cause a problem to all the significations. It will cause problem in sustenance on this planet for you. You will find a difficult time to sustain yourself and your family when Saturn is in the second from the ascendant. Finances will be troubled, food, you might have troubles related to food, to receiving food in life, to receiving sustenance in life. Okay. And when we talk of a similar transit from the Arudha Lagna, it will cause, some very similar effects. But when we talk about Arudha, it's the manifested reality of yourself in this world. It's how the world perceives you. So 12 from the Arudha can destroy your relationships with the world, with the material world, with the samsara. Suddenly people are not responding to you. People look away from you. You're no more, center of attraction at events, at parties. So, because Arudha is the Maya, it's your Maya. It's your image, it's getting destroyed. When it comes on the Aruda, when Saturn is transiting on the Aruda Lagna, it can tarnish your image. It can cause a fall in your image in the society. Ill fame can come to you. You may see a period where people are disrespecting you. All your good efforts can go down the drain. Nobody would see it. So it will cause a destruction of your image in this world. Second from Aruda, it's the sustenance of the Aruda, it's the sustenance of your image, and that will be affected. For you, it will be a humongous task to, manage your identity in the world. So now you know about three types of Sade Satis, one from the moon, Chandra, one from the ascendant, the Lagna, and one from the Aruda Lagna. And these three Sade Satis are very important to be aware of in your life. Okay? Kataka Shani, thorn in your path. So when Kataka Shani happens, not literally, but you'll feel like you're limping through in your life. I call it like a mini Sade Sati. Okay? And it will seriously cause many obstacles in your path. Now, what do I mean when I say Kataka Shani? Whenever Saturn is transiting in the first house, in the fourth house, in the eighth house, or in the 10th house from your ascendant or from your moon or from your Aruda Lagna, this is known as Kataka Shani, a real thorn in your path, like a mini Sade Sati. Now, how will be the effects? See, when it comes from, when Kataka Shani happens from moon, it will cause suffering to you physically, health-wise, and emotionally. Okay? When it is happening from your Aruda Lagna, it will cause troubles to your image in the society, to your standing in the society, to your finances, to your work. Okay? And when it is happening from the Lagna, from the ascendant, it will cause failure of your intelligence, failure of your buddhi, and you will take extremely wrong decisions at such times. Okay? And now a lot of you would be thinking, this is going to happen every now and then, whenever Saturn is transiting. Maybe there would be high chances that you could be going through a Kataka Shani from the moon or from the Aruda Lagna, from the ascendant. So this is a never-ending nightmare. What am I supposed to do? So I'll give you the remedy here for Kataka Shani. The best remedy for Kataka Shani is to read the third Anuvaka from Sri Rudra Chamakam 11 times in the early mornings or in the evenings. Early mornings preferable, or you can do it in the evenings as well. But you have to read it 11 times. The third Anuvaka of Sri Rudra Chamakam. Okay, this is the best remedy to get over the negativity caused by Kataka Shani in your life. Okay, let's move on. Very, very important slide. A lot of things written here. And we'll go through it one by one. Nakshatra. Saturn moving around in nakshatras. We cannot see nakshatras from our naked eye, from here on planet Earth. Planets move around in nakshatras. When we see in Rashis, it's for our for our understanding. It has been simplified for us to understand the movement of planets. So we look at them through Rashis, but basically, planets are moving in nakshatras. Okay, right now, Saturn is in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Okay, so if your moon is in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, you're going through a Sade Sati. But if your moon is not in nakshatra, let's say your seventh lord or any other planet is in Shatavisha nakshatra, understand that that planet is going through a Sade Sati. The significations of that planet, the houses governed by that planet in your chart will be affected like it's affected in a Sade Sati. Okay. And let's begin from here now. So it's not always from moon, Aruda Lagna, or the ascendant you have to see. Saturn is moving in which nakshatra. And whether in that nakshatra do have any important planets or do have any planets at all. Any important ascendants that I have in that planet, like Hora Lagna, related to your wealth and sustenance again. Shri Lagna. Upapada Lagna is related to your marriage. So if Upapada Lagna is in the nakshatra where Saturn is currently moving in, your Upapada Lagna, your marriage could be in trouble. Okay. So I hope you got a deeper insight into the transit of Saturn. 25th nakshatra from the moon is known as the Manas Tara. The Manas Tara is related to Chandrama, moon, Mana. So sorry, it's related to Mana. Okay. And shows the status of your mind, basically. So whenever Saturn is moving, the 25th nakshatra from your Janma Tara, from your Janma nakshatra, from your moon, basically. So let's say, for example, your moon is in Shravana nakshatra. Count the 25th nakshatra from there. Your Saturn is transiting over there. It's like a Sade Sati to your moon as well, because the 25th nakshatra is all about your mana. Your mana can see suffering at such a time. Okay. Now below, all these are the Navatara. It's out of the Navatara system. The Janmatara, the Sampat, Vipat, Shema, Pratyak, Sadhana, Naidana, Mitra, Ati Mitra Taras. Okay. And I've given the numbers over here in the brackets. So the Janmatara Jata, your Janma Nakshatra Tara, the moon, wherever, whichever Nakshatra moon is placed in, like if moon is in Shravana Nakshatra, number 1 would be Shravana Nakshatra. Take the Navtara from moon right now. Okay. It can be taken from the ascendant as well, but you have to understand why. So why and when you have to take it. Moon's nakshatra would be the first nakshatra over here. The 10th from it and the 19th from it will be the Janmatara. The second from your moon's nakshatra or 11th or 20th will be the Sampattara and so on. Will go on. Okay. So whenever Saturn is transiting, let's say through your Janma Taras, it will cause trouble because it's related to your moon again. So health and emotional sufferings can crop up. 10th nakshatra is also related to your karma. So the work can be affected. Similarly, all these things will be affected, like if it is going through Saturn is transiting in the Sampattaras. The wealth and resources can be affected negatively. So in a very simple way, whenever Saturn is transiting through Taras or on nakshatras that are not favorable to you, like Pratyak, Naidana, okay, things related to those nakshatras and the planets will become more unfavorable for you. Saturn transit there will increase the negative part, okay? It will increase the negative effects of those significations. And if Saturn is transiting on the nakshatras that are favorable to you, like Ati Mitra, Mitra, Sampat, that transit will decrease the favorability of those significations for you, or the favorability of those nakshatras for you. So Saturn moving and all the nakshatras that are bad for you, the bad will rise more. And if Saturn is moving on nakshatras that are good for you, the good will decrease. The benefits will decrease. Or they will not be able to give you the benefits at that time. Okay. So it's going to your Mitra, if it's transiting, let's say, on your Mitra Tara, you will be unable to find support or favorable time in your life or auspicious time in your life. Okay, so the benefits will come now whenever Saturn is transiting on the nakshatras favorable for you. And when Saturn is transiting on the nakshatras unfavorable to you, the unfavorable things will increase, will rise. Okay. Also, big hint here, if you're going through let's say, a Saturn Mahadasha or a Saturn Antardasha. So check which nakshatra is Saturn placed in your natal chart. If it's out of your Vipat Tara or if it's Naidhana Tara or Pratyak Tara, that means that the Antardasha can be a problem. Okay, big hint for those who are enthusiastic about Vedic astrology, they can research about it more. We did talk about planets nakshatra where Saturn is transiting in. Okay, real Sade Sati. My guru mentioned this to me, and it's a very important thing to know. The real Sade Sati is happening always in the divisional charts, like the D9, the Navmansh, the D10, the Dashamsha chart. So let's say if you're going through a Sade Sati in the D9, in the Navmansh chart, it means your bhagya is not favorable to you at the moment. It can cause upheavals in your married life, in your relationships, in your destiny. If you're going through a Sade Sati, let's say in the Dashamsha, in the D10, so your career, your karmas, your work is currently under Sade Sati effect. So you might be looking at a Rashi chart, you're not finding exactly the source of trouble. Go look at the divisional charts. If you are facing troubles in your career, go look at a D10. If you're facing troubles related to your bhagya, to your destiny, to your marriage, relationships, go look at the D9. With children, go look at the D7. Parents, D12, and so on. Okay. So for this, you'll need to understand all the divisional charts and what significations they are related to. Okay. Remedial measures, what everybody loves. Just give me the remedy of this, and I'll be off. I'll be happy and fine. Well, it's not always easy to do remedies, okay? You're fighting against a very strong force of karma coming towards you. You're swimming, it's like swimming against the current. In some cases, it's easy by the blessings of God and rishis and sages and gurus. And in some cases, you have the most accurate remedy in your life, but things will not work because Ishvara is not allowing it to work. The Ishvara wants you to face those karmas, so nothing can be done. But here, I want you to understand, there's a very simple remedy that most people do. They on Saturdays they go to a Hanuman temple and they offer sesame oil, to Hanuman, to Lord Hanuman, to protect them from Shani, from Sade Sati, from Saturn. Now tell me one thing, imagine for 1 second that you're a cop. Okay, you have to catch a notorious criminal who has not done crime any lately, but has done a lot of crimes in let's say the past 10 years. He was in hiding, and suddenly you know the criminal's whereabouts, and you're going to catch him. And now the criminal is doing a lot of spiritual work. Will that make you not catch him? So, try to understand what I'm saying here in very simple terms. Whenever bad times come, and if you're rushing to do all this remedies, nothing is going to work. You've done your karmas, it's time to face it. It's time to face the music. And for some people, these simple remedies also do not work. Why? I'll tell you why now. You have to understand, first of all, the significations of Shani. Saturn, like I said, is a Karaka, the significator of the 6th house, the 8th house, the 12th house. Okay. Now, when we talk about the positive side of things, 6th house is a house of brahmacharya, celibacy, the house of service to others. Okay. 8th house is a house of Nicha doshas, the wrong acts that we do in this life out of ego. or out of failure of intelligence. Like somebody's an alcoholic, despite knowing it's going to cause trouble to his life, to people around him, to his family. He doesn't leave that habit, he keeps on doing it. Masturbation, 8th house, Nija dosha. You are destroying your ojas, your semen, your virility. Okay. 12th house is house of giving, of donations, of charity, of meditation. So you have to understand, whenever Saturn has entered your life through dashas, through transits, you need to do the positive activities of all these three houses. Of the 6th house, start of being service to others. Start helping people around you in any way you can, of life around you. People, animals, start being of service to them. 1. Brahmacharya, maintain celibacy. Now, what do I mean when I say celibacy? You don't have to become a monk. If you're married, stay true to your wife. Only have physical relationships with your wife or with your husband. Do not have extramarital affairs. Extramarital affairs also come from the 8th house. Do not cheat on your spouse. Not even, smart cheating that people do on their phones and, those flirtatious texts that you send despite being committed to somebody. Stop doing that. Stop watching pornography. Okay. Stop wasting your ojas, your semen. Stop masturbation. Stop going to the bar. Stop drinking alcohol. Leave it. There are much more things in life that you can be addicted to, right? There's so much knowledge in the world that you can acquire. And don't waste your life like that. So start doing the positive activities and not the negative activities of these houses. 6th house is house of Shadaripus. Do not increase your activity of Shadaripus when Saturn has entered your life. You'll be punished very badly for them. Nothing will save you. So start being of service to life around you, to Mother Earth, to animals, to people around you. 8th house, Nicha doshas. Get out of your bad habits. Okay. Temptations will come. I tell you, whenever Saturn activates the 8th house to transit or by aspects or, and periods of Saturn, you'll be tempted to have an affair or to cheat on your spouse. Do not do that, because once you do that, you've unleashed, the highest amount of sufferings on your life. And you can't escape them. No remedies will help you escape them. 12th house is house of giving. Start donating. Start donating whatever you can. Regularly, weekly. Don't wait for auspicious days or auspicious moments to, if I donate on this, there are people I donate on this day, and on this day donation counts a lot. Like on, new moons or Sankranti, if I donate, I get 10 times merit than what I do on a normal day. Who are you to count karmas? Let the one who's looking for your karmic actions, write it down. Why are you worried about it? You go do your karmas regularly without the expectations of its fruits. That is what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita. So start giving regularly. If you can't give money, you can have a profession that can help others. Like, for example, if you're a doctor, regularly treat patients for free, give medicines for free. Whatever service you are in, whatever talent you have, whatever skill you have, do it for free. Okay. So you need to understand, before doing any remedies for Saturn, you need to follow these three things. You need to do the positive actions of these three Dusthana houses. Only then any remedies can work. Otherwise, you can keep going Saturday to Hanuman temple, and the next day you can abuse women. You can abuse women, or you can cheat on your spouse, and you can cheat people and think that you're protected. No, you're not protected. You're in much deeper trouble than you think you are. And so if you do these three activities of the three houses in positive manner, you don't need remedies, to be honest. Face your karmas, be strong, face your karmas. Just sit down and pray to God. I'm ready to be cleansed of my past life karmic package, and I want to start a new page in my life now. And I'll tell you, suddenly the journey will not seem very painful to you. Your perception of that period will change into a positive outlook. The other remedy is Shani is related to the Vayu element, Vayu Tattva, and the controller of Vayu Tattva is Lord Shiva. And only going to his refuge can help you in such terrible times. Go to Lord Shiva. Start praying to a Shivlingam daily. Start doing the Panchopchar puja of the Shivlingam daily. Start being devotional to Lord Shiva. Only his refuge can help you come out of this period of cleansing. There are other remedies as well. When Saturn is a 12th house, there will be a different remedy. When Saturn is on the moon or on the ascendant or on the Aruda Lagna, there will be different remedy. There will be different remedies. And when Saturn is transiting from the second house, from your moon or from the ascendant or from the Aruda Lagna, there will be a different remedy. Okay. I'm not giving out the remedies here. One, you should not ever give mantras or remedies out on public platforms. Second, who am I? Okay, who am I to walk right into your karmic cleansing? Saturn will be like, who the hell are you? Who told you to come here? Here, karmic cleansing is happening. If somebody comes to you out of divine connection, okay, you can help them. But you can't just walk right into this without the permission of Ishvara. I can't interfere in your karmic cleansing process. So thereby I can't give you remedies, the actual remedies related to the Saturn transit. If the divine power has a wish for you to come out of that suffering, you'll come to know those remedies from somebody, or you'll visit a nice Vedic astrologer who can help you with it. So I can't interfere, and no astrologer should interfere. With this, I'll put an end to this video. I hope that I've given much to think about, a new perspective of looking at Saturn. And I'll repeat it again. Saturn is indeed a blessing. It is going to shape you into a person that you're meant to be. If you work alongside with Saturn, you'll be able to tap your potential in life. So thank you for watching this video, and do leave your feedback. I love reading about it in the comment section below. Hari Om Tat Sat.